Part of our team in KwaZulu-Natal is our reporter Samkele, who's keeping up with some high-profile individuals set to cast their ballots today. Samkele, let us in on where you are, what you're seeing, and who you're hoping to catch up with.
Well, Ayanda, we are at Northwood Boys High in Durban North. As you can see, this is the ward that where DA leader John Steenhuisen votes at. You can see the gazebo of the Democratic Alliance with DA MPL Heinz de Boer. They also seen their premier candidate, who is also here, Chris Papas. On the adjacent side of it is the ANC gazebo there as well, where the former premier of the province, Sbu Ndebele, he is voting in this particular voting station. I am now going to bring in who is the former premier of the province, Mr. Sbu Ndebele, as we await the arrival of the DA leader. Mr. Ndebele, just the essence of you voting here, you're voting in the same ward as the incumbent DA leader. Interesting times, particularly knowing that you're the former premier of the province. How do you see voting panning out on this particular election day in the province?
Today is D-Day. The 27 million people in South Africa are voting. We are today going to put to rest the premature autopsies that have been churned out throughout the media and analysts talking about the premature death of the ANC. The question should have been, what keeps the ANC alive? The ANC is alive, it's voting today, and we are very confident about the results. Our confidence gives peace to South Africans because they know that voting for the ANC, we are voting for peace and stability, we are voting for non-racialism, we are voting for a proven record of development and being part of the world, not being a skunk of the world. So we are voting ANC. The premature autopsies were just that, very premature. The ANC is not dying, it's very much alive.
A man up north of the province, Tugela, who, when you campaigned to be the premier in 2004, when you got a 2/3 majority, has formed his own thing. Do you think he will make a significant dent to your party today?
Well, we have got an experience because I was chair of the ANC for 10 years here, and I led the ANC to victory. First of all, to the draw with the IFP in 1999, and then to victory in 2004. And we were campaigning with President Thabo Mbeki across to Tugela, all over. We crisscrossed this province, and sometimes I feel sometimes the media is unfair because it ascribes such a collective victory led by Comrade Thabo Mbeki and myself, and they ascribe it to somebody else. So we have done it before. We've continued to do it in 2009, 2014, 2019. We are going to do it again because voting ANC, we are voting for stability. Voting ANC, we are voting for non-racialism. Voting for ANC, we are voting for a democratic South Africa. You can't vote for something you don't know.
How will you do that when the IFP is on a resurgence? In 1999, you put the ANC and the IFP to a draw. Today, the IFP is on an upward trajectory.
You are a very experienced journalist. You know there were times when we were bombarded with the information that KwaZulu-Natal is composed of 6 million Zulus that support the IFP. There were no 6 million Zulus. We were there and we made our mark until we took over the province. So don't believe your own information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sbu Ndebele. Where are you casting your votes today, MK or ANC?
ANC is the future. ANC is the present.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sbu Ndebele. That is the former premier of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Sbu Ndebele. I'm just going to call Mr. Dean McPherson here, who comes from the Democratic Alliance. He's the leader of the Democratic Alliance in the province. Mr. McPherson, when can you anticipate the arrival of your leader, Mr. John Steenhuisen?
He should be here in the next 15 minutes or so. He'll be coming to cast his ballot with his daughter, who will be voting for the first time. And so we're really looking forward to receiving him and glad that he's in the province on election day.
When you look at voting patterns, many people have questioned where will the Muslim community vote, particularly knowing some who may perceive the DA to have supported Israel and others perceive the government to have openly supported Palestine, and the DA, some saying, was mute on that particular struggle of the people of Palestine.
The vast majority of Muslim voters will be voting for the DA because They understand that this election is about the services that they are or aren't receiving in their community, of which the ANC is directly responsible for destroying those services. So I'm absolutely convinced that the Muslim voters, particularly in Durban and KwaZulu-Natal, will be supporting the DA, will be supporting Chris Pappas, because they know that the DA and Chris can secure their future and their children's future in this province.
When you look at the current stats, what reports have you received? How many people have voted? How many of those are you counting in the bag for the DA?
I don't have those exact numbers, but I can tell you that the DA has had a very strong turnout this morning across the province. We're very happy with the support that we're receiving. Even here, I mean, no one's going to the ANC tent, they're all coming to the DA tent. So the support is overwhelming, and we are going to get a fantastic result that is going to propel Chris Pappas into the office of the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dean McPherson, who is one of the leaders of the Democratic Alliance in the province. As you can see, Francis Rogers there, who is the leader of the Democratic Alliance in the province. That is Mr. Heinz de Boer, who is also an MPR of the Democratic Alliance in the provincial legislature, and also the premier candidate who is there standing and giving interviews. That is Chris Pappas there, who is hoping to take the premiership of the province. And we will also try and just get my colleagues just to go and grab Mr. Chris Pappas there, just for a quick doorstop from him, and particularly knowing that he will be alongside his leader here of the Democratic Alliance, as John Steenhuisen in the next few minutes will be casting his particular vote here at the Northwood Boys High. He is also an alumni. He is he studied here at this particular high school in Durban North of Northwood Boys High. He has in successive elections within the country come and to cast his vote here. This is a Democratic Alliance ward. When you look at the northern suburbs of this particular eThekwini municipality, most of the wards in affluent areas belong to the Democratic Alliance. I am just going to shortly doorstop Mr. Chris Pappas here. Mr. Pappas,
how are you, sir?
How are you?
Good, good.
Are you good?
Good.
I saw you voted yesterday.
Yes.
How was the process?
It was easier.